We're honored to be here. I'm Naomi Klammen. I've been with Google for the last 3.5 years, helping financial services customers move to the cloud. Wayne?
Excellent. Wayne Davis, Principal Architect here at Google, and so nice to see many of you again, and so nice to work with you, Ron, as always.
Yeah, hi, and I'm Jack Bradham. I'm based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I am a customer engineer focusing on moving customers in the mid-size financial services area across many accounts to cloud, and I focus on data and analytics primarily.
Cool. So we're here today, and many of you know that as Google, as a company, our mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible to all. Great, that's Google. But what about Google Cloud? And how can we help you? So here at Google, our mission for Google Cloud is transfers to you. We offer infrastructure, application development, data management, smart analytics, AI and ML, and collaboration capabilities to our customers, so our customers can effectively learn, lead, scale, and comprehensively secure, keyword there, their environments. And today, the three of us are going to chat and explain to you what we're seeing in the industry and how we can help you understand what's going on in the industry and move to the cloud. Does it sound good, guys?
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
So I guess the first thing I want to ask you guys, since you guys are helping customers a lot, what are major challenges that financial services customers or fintech firms face today as they scale to the cloud?
Yeah, I guess I'll go first. You know, it's old news. Nobody wants to talk about the pandemic. Nobody wants to go back there. So I'll just say, you know, things got really, really real, right? A little over a year ago when it came to customer experience. So everyone had to reinvent how they engage with customers, whether you were running a bank or a restaurant, right? So one of the areas I think we've really shown out in the last 18 months with our innovation is around customer experience. And really what we're talking about is another cliche I don't really love, but digital transformation, right? Where brick and mortar operations or in-person operations or typically common operations that maybe would have done with human interaction just changed. There's this complete different way of interacting. So Google's Google Cloud's investment in one particular area around call center and agent assisting technologies has come a long way and contributed tremendously, where we're trying to take the interactions, whether they're chat or SMS or call in, email, whatever channel, you know, a customer's contacting a financial services firm for, we're monitoring this sentiment. We're taking all those interactions and running through our AI and ML platforms for things like sentiment and intent detection and fulfillment, and really gathering insights into that customer experience through the CCAI platform. That's something you can Google and look up. That's one part of what we're doing in customer experience that I'm really excited about. I'll talk more about today. And also when it comes to those paper interactions that we used to do, right, with like sign a signature card or sign a loan form and fill those out and forward them in. We're doing a lot with AI and ML around document extraction and changing how we're just completely interacting with a particular user or a particular customer. So we'll talk a lot more about knowing your customer and how you interact with them, but this has changed operations completely at a bank or financial services, in my opinion. Wayne, I'm sure you have some good further on examples. Those are just mine.
Awesome, thanks for sharing that. So what I didn't share with the team that's on today from on behalf of Angel Bee, having worked at another hyperscaler for many years and now working at GCP, it's been interesting because spending so much time in the financial sector now, dealing with a lot of the regulatory things that are out there, I noticed that operational speed is one of the things that has just been forgotten. So spending ample opportunities with these clients and customers to help them really get to the meat and the source of where their data needs to rest and how fast they can take that data and either move it across prems or through facilities, or more importantly to the cloud, hopefully is the end result. That's where a lot of that goodness has come from with regard to Google. And another thing, just to add to that, you've got the operational component there to get the speed, and then you have a lot of the machine learning, the doc AIs of the world, as Jack will talk about in a moment. Then what about the security? This is the one that's just near and dear to my heart. Security, and then also what we do with the regulatory side of it. We often forget how important it is in the financial sector. So to answer your question directly, Naomi, I would say that thinking about operational speed, and then focusing on security and the regulatory components within said security domain is often where I get a chance to focus.
Great, thank you so much. And so it was great that you shared with us what customers are seeing and what challenges they're facing. What Google Cloud capabilities help financial services customers thrive in this competitive landscape?
Well, I'll just sort of jump in there on that a little bit. Anytime, when we talk about the type of transformation that we're seeing go on right now, my customers in the financial segment are calling and asking me, how can I trim $10 out of a mortgage processing origination, or how can I look across 100 different, or I'm sorry, hundreds of thousands of different accounts and find information about my customer? So they're really hitting on things like document processing and know your customer initiatives, essentially for propensity to buy, right? So as I've sort of alluded to earlier already, when a customer, or when we take solutions to our customers, right, financial services firms, we want to make sure that we're augmenting and integrating with their existing solutions so that their digital transformation takes place without any current interruption, without existing interruption, right? So if we want to make them more competitive, we can't start by disrupting everything that they're doing right now. We really have to make those things more efficient. So, for example, our CCAI solution, or call center AI solutions, which are really more than that, they're really about multi-channel customer interactions. We're going to market with our peers in the market. Google's a very customer friend or partner friendly company. That's one of our mantras. So we're going with the Avayas, the Genesis, the Five9s into the customer, the end customer, and saying, we're partnered here. You already have these call center solutions. You already have their chatbots, etc. Let us overlay our AI technologies on top of those. So I think that's really one way we can meet the customer where they're at and integrate directly into the solutions that they have now. Wayne, I'll just pause for a second, let you jump in there. I know you're thinking.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I was thinking the wheels are turning here. So one of the things that always pops up, and I would say in the last 2 weeks alone, and talking to many of our financial sector customers, they was like, wow, we didn't know exactly everything that Google had to offer. So whether it's one tool that specifically is focused on Google, the core, or Google Cloud, where we get a chance to focus, the three of us, together, collectively, it has been amazing just to see the interaction and how we bring together tools and services on behalf of our clients. In the same examples there, in those particular cases there, one of the things that is amply important is that when we start looking at all of the products that we have to offer with GCP, and then we look at how those products can help solve some of their concerns and then help them elevate their game with regard to their business, spending a lot of time just thinking about that operational component. Why, when we start reflecting on remote server management, do I have to have all these servers, this hardware inside of my facilities and my data centers? Can I get it to the cloud easily? If I start looking at my engineers, my architects, and what they focus on, this is what's helping them to really get to the meat of what matters in their business. And I would also say the second thing is automation and maintenance is something that, weirdly enough, has been coming up a lot, because developers, as we talk to them, they're trying to develop apps for their end clients, and oftentimes in the financial sector, the three of us are consumers of said services. But when these developers can work on their products and then be able to exercise all of the just a great customer sat that comes from it, then we get a chance to see internally facing that Google Cloud has several things to offer. And then when I layer in like the AI platform, as you kind of mentioned there, Jake, it's just, Jack, it's amazing that all of the things, the heavy processing and what we can do with compute, and then we can allocate all the intensive workloads to achieve tasks a lot faster. It's just amazing at what makes that work. So when I circle back, and I was actually talking to a C-level individual last week, one of the things that they finished up is saying that when we look at Google, it's great that you have, another hyperscaler offering, but collectively together, putting all those systems, those services, and then making sure that you help our business, that's what really matters to them. We have to walk away from an opportunity just because it wasn't the right fit. And this was probably a month or so before that, and the client came back to us. So it's not that we're trying to compete with other hyperscalers. We just want to do the right thing by our clients on behalf of GCP and then the greater Google.
Great. Thanks, Wayne. Jack, you talked a lot about customer experience and how important it is in today's world. Keeping the customer is incredibly important. Can you give me some examples where Google can help in customer experience?
Sure. Well, I mean, this wouldn't be a Google presentation, right, if we didn't talk about BigQuery. It's the flagship product of Google Cloud, in my opinion. Of course, I'm a data guy, but look, I think that know your customer initiatives are ultimately probably one of the most important initiatives that most of my financial institutions are taking right now, but I know that they've been around for many, many years, if not 10, 15 years now, where it originally started off, we called it sort of customer 360, right? And the reason that these initiatives have been around, and why I'm pinging on it, is this is really a data problem. It's a problem of how do I grab data and integrate it and then make it available for my analysts or for my customer service representatives to really act on, or even my salespeople for different products. Just depends on which segment of the business you're in. But integrating data into, sorry, I apologize about that. Integrating data into a data warehouse has historically been something that, a lot of people shy away from. I can't tell you how many data warehousing projects die on the vine. And what we've really learned here at Google is by leaving storage and making storage of data really ubiquitous across whatever storage environment you have, makes integrating data in BigQuery or a data warehousing environment much, much easier. So what we've tried to do here at Google is, for customer experience, first and foremost, I would say, is we've really said, look, leave your data where it is. We'll take BigQuery to that. We even have that with an upcoming product where we're going to do multi-cloud data aggregation and federation through BigQuery. So just leave your data in the competitor's cloud if you want to. We'll touch it with BigQuery and bring that together. But once we have that data on a control plane that you can access it, we're then going to apply all the integrated machine learning models inside BigQuery, right, that are available for propensity, sentiment analysis, you name it, right? And that's a tremendous way to just get the data available and to apply intelligence on it, so that operations like know your customer can really be successful. The other things that I would say around customer experience are around our call center product line, which I spoke about together. Again, what we're doing in that form factor is going out with our partners in the telephoning space and really guiding the customer through whatever channel they come into through a common and regular experience. What our data is telling us is that newer generations and current generation are fine with sharing their data with you and working with you, but they want to interact with you whenever, however is available for them at the time, whether it's text or Facebook or a call, right? We want to make that a seamless experience for the end customer to interact with the financial institution. So I said a lot. Where else can I go for you?
Well, so I guess I mean, and maybe Wayne, Jack, you talked a lot about BigQuery, and I know that's Google's data warehouse. I'm concerned about moving my data to the cloud. Wayne, can you perhaps talk about data privacy concerns and moving data to Google Cloud?
Absolutely. Love to chat about that one. So think about security again, right? Every organization, especially those in the financial sector, the first 5, 6, 7, 8 conversations we've had, whether it's been with the CISO, it's gone down to directors, it's been network security engineers, architects. We often have these conversations. Again, last week alone, we spent about 4 hours just talking about security practices inside of Google. Are you really secure, Google? Because it's great that you can say this on paper, but we really don't want any incidents. So some of the things we do extremely well when you consider Google Cloud and what we massively focus on inside of the security domain is making sure that we have that compliance, and then we also have the regulatory things that match the products. So let me explain a few things what I mean by that. First thing, when you focus on security inside of Google, we only are going to process your data so that you can do it based on your instructions, and then we basically execute based on that. That's the long and short of it. It's not something that we're managing, we're not monitoring. This is your data on your behalf. We're going to make sure we follow your wishes. Point number one. The second is when we think about that data and we house that in whatever compartment, we got BigQuery, you got compute engine, you have Kubernetes, again, whatever that is, your data is encrypted. And that's what I've loved about working here at Google. So imagine the financial sector and this industry and this vertical, all of that sensitive data, how we pay our mortgages, what we focus on, sending your kids to college, when you buy your vehicles, etc. You want to make sure that things are secure. So the data that you use and then the data that runs across our platform is encrypted. It's also encrypted in rest, and then also while it's in transit. So we want to make sure that we have that confidentiality in our platform and make sure things are sticky with regard to your business. We are never, ever going to sell your data. We're not even going to advertise that data to a third party. And more importantly, this is your intellectual property, so it needs to stay with you. That's super important as well. And then when you think about putting all that together, we have to maintain extreme regulatory compliance so that whatever country or region of the world we're operating again, when we map those attestations to the dependent governmental authorities and we match those international standards, then we're in compliance. And then once again, your data is also safe. So wrapping that up, what I love most is, and I just had a discussion about this an hour ago, think about our infrastructure, think about our backbone, how our fiber optic plant comes together, our subsea cables, when it all works, everything is seamless, then it makes networking, routing, and switching really nice. So the more time we can spend with your data and how we massage that data, and then characteristically you run across our fiber optic network, then that's the less time we have to worry about the vulnerabilities on the public internet. So those are critical points to make sure that our tech is really, really good. We didn't even begin to talk about some of the things that work with the operating system, right? And some of the chips that we publish and how we do a lot of other different things that make it very valuable to your business to run on our platform. But in terms of our security, we would like to think that our security platform is extremely protective of itself, and then more importantly, secure for you to use. And then as we start migrating things, as you start looking at how containers work, and then you want to say, okay, I've got a mobile application that I want to use in my financial sector. I've got a developer that wants to try something out, and then I want to make sure that I move a workflow across to Google, then we can do it with trust. So yes, applications that are deployed, management stacks that are on-prem that we are considering to the cloud, those discussions allow us really to build a big partnership with our financial sector.
Nice. And I think, Wayne, one of the last words that you said there, like, struck a chord with me. You talked about a partnership. We really want to see, like, from a Google perspective, we see ourselves as your partner. We should, Thomas presented on our financial services summit. We see ourselves as share fate. We don't use the word, we use shared responsibility model, share fate. We want to partner with you from a technology perspective, from a culture perspective. We want to be here to solve your hardest problems. Bring your problems to us and solve your problems, as opposed to we're just a vendor that brings services to you. We want to understand your problems. We want to solve them. We want to be there for you and help you in any which way from a partner perspective. Anything else, Wayne or Jack, you want to add?
I would just add that, site reliability and shared fate is huge at Google. Like Wayne, I came from another hyperscaler before I was at Google here. And something has really stood out to me is just the fact that we make site reliability engineering available to all our customers. We write books about it. You can download a SRE book from Google. I'm guessing you're going to pull one out, Naomi. And
there we go.
That's something that's available to our customers that we take very seriously. And I'm proud of that as a Googler.
Yeah, same here. And you often hear us when we come on these seminars with Ron and team, that, yeah, these things are important, machine learning, Kubernetes, but if we can't do the fundamental and base things correct, then we failed our customer. I'll just be very blunt about that. So the sector that the three of us get a chance to focus on, and just how entrenched we are with their business, before we make any decisions, we want to get all of the right requirements. We want to make sure that we've proven ourselves as an organization. And then after that, as Naomi stated, we can partner. That way we can leverage all the different variations in our business and then your business collectively to ensure that as we start talking about these fancy products and tools, then it'll make sense and then we'll have implied trust. So, but yeah, Naomi, I don't have anything else at this point.
Cool. Well, Ron, back to you. Thank you so much for inviting us. We hope, we're glad that we could share Google Cloud, and we look forward to doing this with you guys again.